Hey guys, I wanted to update you finally on the project car. I know I haven't done anything in a while, but I guess I don't really like doing these kind of videos. But I figured I'll do one last one before racing comes up here. With the whole coronavirus thing, it looks like we're actually going to start racing here in 2 weeks, so that's good. But I want to go over everything that's done with the car now. It's pretty much done, except for an alignment and the exhaust. As you can see with the vinyl on the car, I basically did I did stripes because this hood I purchased is aluminum JDM version 2, version 1 hood. It was silver. I could have done the whole hood in white, but I was like, I want to do something different, and decided to do racing stripes. I did it kind of inverted, where this is actually the paint from the hood, and this is vinyl. And then on the top, it's the opposite, where you got the white from the paint of the car, and that's vinyl, because I found a matching vinyl to the silver of the hood. Same thing on the back. Found an Impreza sticker I had sitting around there, so that's on there. The logos and everything on the car now for racing. The bottom half is black vinyl. It's kind of like the Panda thing from Initial D, but I really just did it to match the front bumpers. Yeah, because those are staying unpainted black. In terms of components, we have the wheels and tires we saw in the previous video, along with the brakes. These are the Rota grids, 15x8, and then the BFGs. They have, I've got the wide body that I did. Basically, what I did is cut right here, pulled this out in order to get the fender out more, and without destroying this panel as well. But what it did do here is it created a big gap by pulling this out. It pulls this out. You can kind of see it right there. So it creates a gap there. I don't really care because it's a race car, but if it was your street car, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You'd probably want to do a fender over it and keep your fender on there, or do some other thing with the fender flares, the normal fender flares. But this was free doing it this way, so that's why I did it. On the back is rolled about as much as you possibly could do a sedan body roll. You can see here how wide it is. It's a solid inch of a roll out, maybe more. It clears pretty well. The rear suspension has camber bolts on it, so it can get a better clearance. I might have to do adjustable lateral links at some point in order to get more clearance there and pull the tire in more. I did delete the fuel door, remote fuel door, so I got one of those sitting around now. This is just one from Outback. The suspension is Bilstein PSS9, a used suspension I got for a good deal. It took a little bit of work to get the back to work though, because this is front wheel drive rear of the car. So it's actually running full height in the front, full low in the front. Full height in the back, because the back suspension knuckle with the front wheel drive cars actually sits lower, so the strut's longer. I actually had to put spacers on the top, so I'm not running a rear strut bar anymore, in order to get the car to sit better, sit properly, and have good geometry. Obviously, it's a race car. I don't care about slamming it. It's all about suspension geometry and tire clearance. Inside the car, I'll start in the back. I don't know if you can see it in here, but I've got the 6 overcrest rear seat delete. That's in the back here. There's the Schroth harness I have in there. On the roof, I've got all my stickers. Since it's a vinyl roof, I decided, hey, I'll just put some stickers inside the roof. And that's kind of, if you got any stickers you want to send, you can leave a message and send them to me. I'll give you some info to send them to me. I'm looking for white, red, black stickers. That's kind of what I'm doing on the inside because it matches the interior. The carpet is just some Ozite carpet from eBay, and the floor mats are Amazon Basics floor mats, cut to fit. They're actually pretty nice material, soft, so easy to cut and fit. These are the Forza the Corbeau Forza seats, the modified ones in the driver's seat, and the unmodified one here's in the passenger seat. This is straight bolted to the frame. I figured that's plenty of room for any passengers. The driver's side one is on rails, so I can move it front and back. A shift lever here. This was actually a huge problem with this car. So this is a cartway shifter with a 6-speed adapter there and a Tomei knob. It's got bushings. It's got upgraded bushings in the shift linkage as well. But the problem is the front wheel drive on this car. It's actually much shorter of a transmission than the regular 5 speeds with the all-wheel drive. So I had to have the linkage custom built in order to fit. It's basically the same linkage, it's just longer on the front wheel drive car. So I had to have it extended and changed around in order to work with the new updated linkage that the cartway shifter uses. That's the radio. These are the 2 speakers there. It's fine because I can hear the radio, and if I want to do Bluetooth or something like that, it works. The rest of the speakers are all deleted. The airbag system's deleted now. I haven't done a steering wheel yet because I haven't felt like I needed to. Painted that a little bit right there, just to paint it around here, just to make it look better. I'm waiting for 6 Overcross to come out with the door panels. Probably save like 10-15 pounds just with door panels when they come out with those. And these are cruddy panels now. They're getting kind of beat up. Now for the big news, the engine. So let me open this up here. So what I did with the engine is it had so many different leaks and everything. I decided to take it out and take a look at it myself. So I've got the engine lift over here. That's the old 1.8 liter short block there. The rear main seal might have had a leak to it, but the rear, what's that little cam? There's a little cover on the back of the case that was leaking bad. The oil pan had a cork gasket that was leaking bad that somebody put on there. Some numb nut put on there. The front cam seals were leaking. There were some other leaks on the front of the motor, I think. The engine turned over good. It didn't have the 1.8 liter. Didn't have any big issues. I sent the heads off to be inspected after I got the motor apart, and the heads were fine. So just had a machine. Yeah, the heads, even with 344,000 miles on it, are fine, surprisingly. So what I did is I got a 2-liter short block, a JDM EJ204. Those are rated at like 150 horsepower, I think, 145, somewhere around there. But it's a higher compression piston, and obviously a little bit more displacement, going with the 1.8 liter. A lot of people do the 2.2 liter block with the 1.8 heads, but I went with the 2 liter for 2 reasons. One, I can get one in good shape for about $600, and 2, I can use the Dibrex head gasket. So it's got the multi-layer steel head gaskets on there instead of the other kind of head gasket. So it's got a better head gasket on there. Obviously, it's not a lot of power, but this is my cheapest option because the oil pan and everything on the short block on the 204 is in perfect shape. I picked out the best one I possibly could because I went in there that had like 20 of them, went through, found the best one, picked it out, and said, okay, I'll take this one. Added you probably can't see it down there, added a Dibrex oil cooler I got for a good deal from Kurt. Got a Quail radiator for one reason only, and that's because, well, 2 reasons actually. Well, the upgrade, obviously, for better cooling. But the other reason, the main reason is that when we got the heads inspected, they said that there was a lot of rust in the coolant. So I said, instead of just trusting an old radiator that with 300,000 miles on it, I figured I'll just get a new radiator that doesn't have any rust in it. And the cost difference for this was maybe about a little bit over $100, as opposed to buying a factory radiator that was significantly smaller. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get the better radiator, and obviously it works perfectly in here. I do have the Carboy single pulley on there, single belt pulley for non-air conditioning cars. That was something I thought was cool. I decided to spend the money on. I do have the NGK cables on there, but I have a MSC coil pack I'm probably going to try out along with the Cobb intake, old school Cobb slash PRM intake. I've got the smaller battery in here running. I had to buy a new one. I also picked up from Kurt this carbon fiber strut bar. Pretty awesome. Weighs almost nothing. I've seen a lot of these in the past, but I've never actually bought one. I figured, oh, what the heck? He had one sitting around. I said, I'll take it. Replaced a lot of the hoses and everything, so it's all nice and new. Don't have to worry about hoses going out on me. So I'll probably take it over to Snail Performance, have it dynoed, see how it goes, see how it's running. I think altogether we're looking at a car that weighs under 2,200 pounds, according to all my math, which is pretty awesome. Probably putting out, I'm guessing, somewhere between 120 to 130 horsepower. It's, you know, it's pretty lame, but it's going to be reliable. It's going to be able to run all day, all night, never worry about it, and that's the key. And it was the cheapest option I had. If I want to do like 2.2 heads with a 2.5 block, probably cost me double what this cost me to do, because I would have had to buy an engine that cost twice as much. I would have bought heads as well that would probably need a lot more work, and so it would have cost me probably $1,500 more to do that. Obviously, that's a pretty good deal, $1,500 for 40 horsepower or so. But if I want to spend a lot of money on the motor, I would, you know, when it gets to the point where I have the money to spend on it, then I'll probably do something more like a WRX swap or something like that. But for now, yeah, it's all up and running. Going for an alignment tomorrow and exhaust maybe as well, and then see what we got. Next week when we race it, I'll probably post up some videos after that, and yeah, talk to you guys later.